Hi, it's Taking Back Canada with Katie. And well, I just took back a little bit of British Columbia. I have some good news. It involves me, but I'm hoping by sharing this story that it'll bring you some good news too. So I appealed my BC home assessment and won. And here's how I did it. 1, you need to be ready because when your assessment comes out in January, maybe like the first or second week, they only give you until January 31st to appeal. I remember getting caught on that in 2023. I think it was around April when I got my taxes and thought I could, and I discovered I was way too late. So I made sure that I had a reminder all ready to go for the following January 2024. And as soon as that sucker arrived in the mail, I was on it. So that's what I'm going to show you next. And I gave you a little bit of a sample demo, but I couldn't really go far because it's not until you're real time doing it, it's not going to unlock all of the steps. So when we get to January, although I probably won't appeal again unless they spike it again, I will do another video and go through each step by step. But honestly, I don't really have to. It's easy. As soon as I went to BC assessment, I started to enter, your roll number, as it just prompts you step by step, and it's easy. So this part was surprisingly easy. I believe I typed something like BC Home Assessment Appeal. Okay, and that brings you here, BC Assessment Appeals. And you click on that. Now the big kicker here is the deadline to file a complaint appeal to the PARP for a 2024 assessment is January 31st, 2024. This deadline has now passed. So it's not going to show areas where I can click and keep going. But obviously there was an area prior to January 31st, 24 where I clicked and it just prompted me to enter the roll number, which, is attached to your address and everything about your assessment. And from there, you just follow the directions. It was quite easy with an email. I'll tell you more about that. And when the time comes to January, I'll go in here and do a step-by-step for those who aren't comfortable with this kind of techie stuff. It's not that hard though. And so once I received an email from them scheduling a time, that was challenging. They rescheduled our phone appointment. You just talk on the phone. There's no FaceTime or Zoom or anything, but they rescheduled it 3 times. So I feel that they make it difficult so you will give up. So I didn't. Fortunately, I have a great boss, and we're really flexible. So I just kept changing things around, going, fine, I'll play the game. You're not getting out of this. Okay, so there was that. And I sent them when they, finally we reached an appointment time and day. Then I had a certain amount of time to respond by email, which was easy. It wasn't any fancy program I had to use on their webpage. It was just by email. I sent them pictures of our house, like the interior, showing that our bathroom and kitchen, 3 bathrooms, kitchen are all original. And I showed them a picture of our neighbor's vacant house with the all overgrown grass that we all take turns cutting. And I used a few examples of home sales in my neighborhood, particularly focusing on our next door neighbor on the other side who had her house up for sale for 15 months. And it finally sold after 15 months for $225,000 less than the listed price. And of course, they wanted to argue with me that her house was slightly smaller than ours and her property is slightly smaller. But I pushed back that her home was more updated inside, and we are on the lake. It's a lakefront in the Caribou of BC. So hers, you can just walk right down in her backyard. There's a slope where ours is just all cliffy, and there's a set of stairs that are rotting. And so I use that in my comparison too. However, round 1, I didn't win. Okay, they shot me down. So I went for number 2. Okay, do you want to go for round 2? I said, yeah, let's do it. So round 2, I got hold of the realtor that we bought our home through, and she was awesome. She did a realtor's comparison, and she did an assessment on paper. suggesting that our home value was over bloated, and she was recommending it come down by about 7 or 8%. And then she also used a comparison across the lake with a home that was overvalued by $180,000 when it sold. The sale price was $180,000 lower than it had been assessed for. So that was very helpful. And still, in round 2, I lost. And this is, I started to get a bit salty with them and just saying, obviously you're just given orders to shoot me down. Like, don't give us the facts. We've already made up our mind. And, they were, the gentleman was friendly, saying, you're actually one of the nicest people we've had to deal with. And, I wish I could do something, but, these are the numbers, blah, blah, blah. And, based on September 2023, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because he, said, do you want to go through with the round 3? And I said, well, is there any point? Like, you're just going to shoot me down, right? And this is wasting your time and wasting my time. And, oh, well, do it. So as they're looking for an appointment for me, I can hear they're having a challenging time finding like a spot open. And I overhear one of the, the committee members saying to the assessor that it's just, they're so busy. And I just started to laugh and said, oh, I'll bet you are. And they laughed. And then I told them, I said, I'm volunteering with the BC Conservative Party, and I'm outdoor knocking. And you can bet that when I get to our neighborhood, I'm going to be talking to everybody. And I'm not trying to threaten you. I'm just letting you know that we are mad. People are frustrated, not just my community or my town, but all through BC, all through Canada. And we're not taking it anymore. And just expect to be swamped next year. Because, a lot of people don't realize how to do this, but it's going to get out there. So anyways, we said adios. And over the next few weeks, I received an email or two just saying you are a participant in, round 3. And so what now was going to happen, that they're going to take the information from the first appeal and the second appeal, and it goes to a board. And then this board is going to go through all of the information and make a decision. So I got an email about 2 weeks ago. I was on my way to the island, and I, stopped somewhere for a brief stop and checking my messages and see my email that this assessment, we have reached a decision. Wah, wah, wah. And, right away I just rolled my eyes like, I know I lost, like whatever. Didn't even look at it. So I got to my destination, and in the morning when I woke up, my alarm went off. I don't know. I just decided at that point I wanted to look and see, and bing, I won. I just was floored. I didn't even read the whole thing. I just went like right to the bottom to the decision, and they lowered our home assessment value by almost 8%. Actually, the realtor's report is really the kicker. That is what helped us. And they went with actually the lowest amount that she recommended. And so I'm really excited because that will bring down our taxes, maybe a few hundred, I don't know. I looked into it, and apparently if it's less than $100, they don't tell you. They just put it as a credit on your next income tax. So in 2025, unless you ask for it. And if it's over 100, it looks like they get hold of you and let you know, or I don't know if they send it to you or just let you know what the amount is. I just want to know. I'll probably just let it go on as a credit to our taxes. But I'm just really pleased. And in doing all of this, I found out that 98% of us British Columbians don't ever appeal their home value that's been assessed. And of course, as you know, that's what your taxes are based on. So if it's over bloated and they keep spiking you every year, then you're paying tax on that amount. And so if you're not planning on selling your home, it's kind of worrisome just sitting there watching it go up, up, up every year. So that was the big thing for me. And I just want to make sure that I didn't forget to tell you anything. One of the people I used to work with, and we're outdoor knocking with the Conservatives, she appealed this year and won. And then when I went to Service Canada to inquire about, how it works with being retroactive and getting my refund. I chatted with the girl before, so she's awesome, and she had said, you know, they're fighting theirs too, and she was happy to tell me yesterday that her husband won as well. So squeaky wheel gets the grease. Do you see that? So like 2% of British Columbians are fighting. Well, there's me and two more people just in my area that I know who won. So it's very likely that if you do your homework and you look at other comparisons in your area and you get the help of a realtor to do their assessment, and partly why they accepted our realtor's advice was that they admitted that about 98 to 99% of the values that the realtors estimate in our area are accurate. So, isn't that cool? I am just so excited about that. And again, these are just all the small ways we can defend ourselves and secure yourself financially. Get yourself in order. You know, it's fun and all that to watch Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or the clown show, the circus in the House of Commons back east. But it's really important. Try not to be too distracted and work on things that you have control over. Okay, so I really hope this helps. And I will come back in January and do a little walkthrough session. I really hope more people start to do this because they want to hurt us by continually driving up the taxes. So, let's put a stop to that. Thanks. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for remembering to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like my content or want to check more of it out, and leave a comment. Love to have discussions on here. Thanks.